Hello and welcome to Celtic Roots Radio, coming to you today from Belfast, Northern Ireland. Celtic, folk, folk rock, Appalachian, bluegrass, Scottish, Irish, Breton, Cajun. If it's Celtic or roots music you like, you'll find it here on Celtic Roots Radio.
And I'll quit the bloody cursing. One summer night I bent my sight on drinking pints of brandy, pints of stout, blacking out and sleeping in an alley. Got down on time and jumped the line of all the local crazies. Fights and hags and drunk dirtbags, your man dressed like a lady. Jimmy McVeigh just let me in, I swear I learned my lesson. I won't spill pints and stir up fights, and I'll quit the bloody cursing. His teeth, they fill with fury. Jimmy McVeigh just let me in, I swear I learned my lesson. I won't spill pints and stir up fights, and I'll quit the bloody cursing. Said to me, come here and see what's down here through this hallway. He dumped my stuff, dumped me out the back door to the alley. Jimmy McVeigh just let me in, I swear I learned my lesson. I won't spill pints and stir up fights, and I'll quit the bloody cursing.
Bannock Teen, a Féile Pádraig. A happy St. Patrick's Day to you all. This is the Celtic Roots Radio Show, with great new music and a wee bit of crack from me, Raymond McCullough. And we started the show off in the right way with a rousing song by Mad Paddy from Ontario, Canada, called The Owl Knew Windsor. Our show today is sponsored again by Belfast Girls, an Irish novel about three girls growing up in post-Troubles Belfast, and now available on Amazon.com, Barnes & Noble, Kindle, all those. You can also hear it on a new podcast which you'll find on iTunes. And for more information on the author, Jerry McCullough, and Belfast Girls, check out Jerry with a G and a Y, McCullough.com, or go to Jerry's fan page on Facebook for regular updates. And we have a brand new podcast for you, Celtic Roots Crack. We've collected up all the wee bits of crack that I do in this show and put them on a separate podcast. You'll find a link to that on our website at CelticRootsRadio.com, and you'll find our Celtic Roots Cafe there with at least 36 great music videos, songs, photos, information about some of our artists and bands, forum posts and a blog. Just click the cafe button on the main website and you keep on saying great things about us on iTunes and emails and on Facebook. Buffalo Dave posted another 5-star review on iTunes USA entitled Simply Great. I want to thank you for this great show. I love that you not only play great music but also give us a bit of the culture and personal history. It really makes me feel at home, and through you I feel a bit closer to Ireland. Thank you again. I am currently burning through your older shows while staying current with your new shows, and recommend your podcast to everyone at work. And Smoke and Ashes also posted a 5-star review on iTunes USA entitled Wonderful. Wonderful Celtic and Celtic Roots podcast. Found this through a recommendation from the Irish and Celtic podcast by Marc Gunn. The narrator has a lovely Irish brogue and gives interesting anecdotes in each podcast. The music is eclectic and provides a great mix of music with Celtic roots from all over. And finally, Greg Simmons in Pennsylvania, USA, send us a shout out from our Live 365 station. Raymond, your discussion of Irish accents is on target. I understand about 60% of what you're saying, but it's very enjoyable. As much as 60%, Greg? That's pretty good. And remember, like Greg, you can listen to Celtic Roots Radio 24/7, complete with all the crack from myself, on our Live 365 station. Keep in touch with us through email, Facebook message or on Twitter. And do go to your local iTunes store and review the show for us. You'll find our other podcasts on iTunes too, just by searching under my name. We're listening now to a great bit of fiddling, 2 tunes called Le Reel de Pendu and Chinquapin Hunting from Folk Arts Quartet in Massachussetts, USA.
14th day of February is for St. Valentine. September 29th is when St. Michael's faithful dine. On April 23rd we hail St. George without restraint. And come November 1st we cheer for every bloody saint. None of those can claim the very best day of the year. 'Cause on March 17th we praise the patron saint of beer. Love the beer. We don't cheer for greenish beer or Irish green liquor. 'Cause the man you toast was one devout teetotaler. St. Patrick never drank. Hey! St. Patrick never drank. Hey! 'Twas only clear unleaded stuff he poured into his tank. He'd take the cash you spend for drafts and stash it in the bank. Hooray! Heroic, true, but stoic too. St. Patrick never drank. He strode with ancient warriors from coast to plain to highland. His staff he'd shake till every snake was banished from the island. He taught his bands the shamrock stands for Father, Son, and Spirit. But don't break out the Guinness stout, the man would not go near it. St. Patrick didn't drink. Hey! St. Patrick didn't drink. Hey! He never tossed a razorback or teetered on the brink. So pour another tall one, lad, then pour it down the sink. Hooray! With piety, sobriety, St. Patrick didn't drink. St. Patrick never drank. Hey! St. Patrick never drank. Hey! So let's be frank, when asked his favorite beer, he drew a blank. My gosh, if he could see you slosh, he'd give your tush a spank. Hooray! The guy was swell but dry as hell. St. Patrick never drank. No, St. Patrick never drank. I need some coffee to sober up.
That was a very appropriate song, St. Patrick Never Drank, from Marc Gunn in New Orleans, Louisiana. Marc hosts the popular Irish and Celtic music podcast, which also broadcasts twice a week on our Live 365 station, and is now to be found on our Cadman site too. A couple of shows back we were talking about Scotch Street, Irish Street and English Street. The town that has all three of these streets is called Downpatrick, and we had a photo of Scotch Street Downpatrick on the podcast. Downpatrick is the county town of Down. In fact, it used just to be called Down with an E on the end, but it has always been associated with the patron saint of Ireland, St. Patrick. Tradition has it that he is buried under the huge stone in the grounds of Down Cathedral in the town. Patrick wasn't the first Christian missionary to heathen Ireland, as mostly we were then. Patrick wasn't Irish at all. He was actually British, in the old sense. Not Anglo-Saxon, but from the pre-Saxon Celtic British tribes, related to modern-day Brittany and France. His name was a Roman one though, meaning he was upper class or well off, and then disaster struck, At 16, Patrick was kidnapped by pirates and taken by ship to Ireland, where he was sold as a slave. He ended up in the north here in County Antrim, pasturing the flock out on Mount Slemish, the remains of an extinct volcano to the east of Ballymena. In his loneliness there, he began to pray a lot and to remember the lessons taught by his father and grandfather, a deacon and a presbyter. In his confession he says, "More and more did the love of God and my fear of him and faith increase." So he'd say up to 100 prayers a day, even in the rain, ice and snow. One night in his sleep, he heard a voice saying, "Soon you will depart for your own country." And then a short time later he again heard a voice, this time saying, "Your ship is ready." After 6 years of slavery, he ran away, travelling 200 miles to catch a ship leaving Ireland. He travelled for a few years before eventually returning to his home in Britain. His parents were glad to see him again, and they didn't want him to leave, but, as we know, he had another dream. This time where a man came from Ireland with a bundle of many letters and gave one to Patrick. It began "The Voice of the Hibernians," and as he read it in his dream, he saw others in the west of Ireland crying out, "We beg you, holy youth, to come and walk among us again." We're listening now to Stephanie Cadman, a great fiddler from Ontario, Canada, and her band Celtic Blaze, with a tune called Bogged Down.
Times I feel little for the good times as it seems. There are times of the loneliness sets in. There are times you were sitting here some light years away, a bank full of memories time. A beautiful awful storm cloud drift away from me. Fondest of memories, you. Audacity, tenacity, we are who we are. By order of our nemesis, time. There are times when you talk to me, say nothing at all. Times that you listen, eyes in your eyes. Times I long to see you, don't see you at all. All we have is little time. The magic you graced me with for all those years, your spell may finally leave me now. Hold on to special memories, enhance your face of life. All we have is little time. There are times when you talk to me, you say nothing at all. Times that you listen, lies in your eyes. Times I long to see you, don't see you at all. All we have is little time. To me, say nothing at all. Times that you listen, lies in your eyes. Times I long to see you, don't see you at all. All we have is little time. All we have is little time. All we have is little.
That was Time from Jerry McLean in Los Angeles, California, a man who sounds uncannily like Christy Moore. Paddy came back as a missionary to the heathen Irish. Ruled over back then by the Druid religion, he landed on the southern shore of Strangford Lough in County Down, and after a confrontation with a local chieftain, was given a barn by him at a place called Saul, just outside Downpatrick, which became his first church. There is still a modern day church building on the site. And in Downpatrick, we now have a St. Patrick's Day parade, but no green beer that I've ever heard of, just pure dew, the black stuff. A lot of stories and legends have arisen about Patrick, but he only wrote 2 documents himself, his declaration, or confession, and a letter to a Scottish king called Coroticus. He is supposed to have banished all the snakes from Ireland, but in fact, a Roman historian, Solenius, had reported many years before Patrick was born that there were no snakes in Ireland. That story probably came out of Patrick's conflict with the Druids, who were still practicing child sacrifice among other things. Patrick had a major confrontation with his Druid rivals at Tara, County Meath, where the High King ruled from. But we'll leave that story for our next show. There's a song about Patrick which begins, St. Patrick was a gentleman, he came from decent people. He built a church in Dublin town, and on it put a steeple. And my wife Jerry's favourite joke is this. What did St. Patrick say when he was driving the snakes out of Ireland? He is all right in the back there? And this is the beautiful harp of Roos, another California artist, and a waltz version of Star of the County Down.
We go up and down like a boat on a wave. We go round like a car on a busy motorway. Always in motion, never the same. Some days you're happy, other days I'm sad. I try not to think about what we could have had. Live for the moment, never the past.
That was The Mountains and the Trees from Newfoundland in Canada, and a song called Up and Down. We're going to finish now with a beautiful Scottish song from Judith Weikle in Wyoming, USA, and Bonny Portmore. Come back here for more about Patrick and the Druids. Enjoy yourselves now. Sláinte agus slánamhaile.
Shine where you stand. reflection of your ornamentry, for it stood on your shore for many's the long day, till the long boats from Antrim came to float away. Oh, bonny Portmore, you shine where you stand, and the more I think on you, the more I think long. If I had you now as I had once before, all the lords in Old England would not purchase Portmore. All the birds in the forest, they bitterly weep, saying, where shall we shelter? Where shall we sleep? For the oak and the ash, they are all cutting down, and the walls of bonny Portmore are all down to the ground. Oh, bonny Portmore, you shine where you stand, and the more I think on you, the more I think long. If I had you now as I had once before, all the lords of Old England would not purchase Portmore.
Well, that's all we have time for on this show. Remember, you can find out more information about the artists and songs played on the show on our website at CelticRootsRadio.com. And if you're an independent artist and you'd like to hear your music played on this show, again, you'll find details on our website. That's CelticRootsRadio.com. Tune in again next week to Celtic Roots Radio. I'm Raymond McCullough, coming to you from Ireland. Slán agus Banna Dia.